Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope you're having an amazing week. Anthony Carboni, yours truly, Wolf Millionaire, coming at you with another free episode on my YouTube channel. The last video I did was some frequently asked questions that I answered in regards to Instagram automation. Make sure you check out that video and the blog post and get up to speed on how you can be more efficient automating Instagram. Today we're going to talk about marketing your business on Instagram, and I don't want to get that confused with, this is just a learning if you have a business. This is a learning whether you have a business, product, or intend to create a business, whether it's a brick and mortar or something digitally online or even on Instagram. One of the biggest things that you need to remember is that your products and your services can be represented in multiple different ways on different digital channels. So if you're launching your product, say on Instagram, you really have to make it visually focused with photos and videos, giving away some of the information and details and why your product is better than the competition to provide value and show that to your followers or potential customers. Let's go over 4 valuable best practices that I think a lot of people are getting wrong, especially when I do some quick research, whether it's for new clients or just on my own. I spend close to 12 hours a day on Instagram managing my accounts that are run by a team of mine, as well as client accounts. I'm consulted by brands, and it's pretty amazing to see all the little things that I consider, no-brainers that are done wrong over and over and over. So in this episode, I'm going to show you 4 specific strategies that you need to learn in order to do better and market your company more effectively on Instagram. The very first one is using hashtags properly. So many people get this wrong. Yes, you can use up to, I think, 30 Instagram hashtags, but you shouldn't be using more than like 5 to 10. If you use any more than that, you're really not describing with high detail what your post is about. You're kind of diluting it and searching for hashtags to use just to use them and hope that other people will be attracted or see your content. But you really have to put in a little bit of legwork to find out what are the best hashtags to use. And I've gone through and done a massive blog post on the best hashtags to use. So in my blog post, you can see I've got a link here to hashtags for Instagram. Check that out, and I'll just click it here so you can know which one. It's this one here. It goes very in depth. It shows you about how to pick hashtags, how to use emoji hashtags, which ones to use, which ones to avoid. But hashtags on Instagram is very important, especially when you're starting out. It can really help you grow a base of highly engaged followers, whether they're followers who like your posts, your brand, your product, your service, or they just like what you have to say in your posts if you're just running an account and it's a personal account. Hashtags are very important. I don't really use them on my big accounts anymore because they're kind of irrelevant once you have a massive following. Even if you can, get on the top 9 hashtag spot, don't really notice it doing anything, above and beyond the engagement levels that I get without hashtags, let alone the growth that I get with or without using hashtags. So why do you need to use hashtags for your business? 1, they define your product. It gets your product out there in a searchable sense because hashtags are searchable and people search hashtags. 2, it allows you to actually go into hashtags and do your own research, which might be able to help you target and reach out, whether it's through DM, which is direct message on Instagram, or through people's emails if they have them in their bio, for people who might have used a hashtag that is relevant to your company, your business, your product, your service. So that's one way. And again, the hashtags for the best hashtags article that I wrote really shows you how to do your research, and you have to do your research to get the most pertinent hashtags. And the idea is to combine the presence of your brand or your business with the most relevant and appealing hashtags where your customers could be searching. Using too broad of a hashtag, say like Apple, is too big. There's probably millions of photos and videos that have been posted to Instagram with the hashtag Apple. And this might sound really trivial to you, but putting a more descriptive hashtag, if you're posting a picture of a green apple, use the hashtag green apple. because it's highly descriptive of what your post is about. And there's a good chance that using green apple over just apple probably has, I don't know, maybe 10,000, 100,000, a couple 100,000 posts, which makes it that much more relevant and that much more accessible to people searching that hashtag. So you're able to get discovered easier using low competitive hashtags than using the big ones where you're just using them to throw your photo or your video into that hashtag pool where no one's going to see them. So don't waste your time with that. Make sure you're using hashtags properly. It doesn't matter if you're a small business that just launched on Instagram or a big corporation. I see everybody doing it wrong. All you got to do is read my best hashtags for Instagram blog posts, and you'll see exactly how you should be using and doing your due diligence when doing your research to use hashtags. I also don't suggest that you use the same hashtags over and over and over. Instagram does have a repetitive spam filter, and even though you might be using the same hashtags that are relevant, I highly suggest you mix up at least 75% of your hashtags. It's okay to use repetitively, 1, 2, maybe 3 hashtags at most every single post. I do that for my Wolf Millionaire post or my Mad Whips post just because that's my brand, and that is, what's important to me is to use the Wolf Millionaire hashtag to get other people to use it, as well as Mad Whips. So as you can see, I use those two pretty much as my default hashtags, and you can go through all my Wolf Millionaire posts and see how I kind of mix it up from post to post. And, that kind of helps it propagate through different channels or different hashtags that different people are looking at that might, find my posts interesting and want to follow or engage with me. The next very important strategy to market your business on Instagram is to use Instagram influencers. Now, not just any Instagram influencer. You have to use ones that fit with your business, with your brand, with your product, with your service. That is the most important thing. There's no point going after an influencer on Instagram who is a fashion blogger if you are in the travel space. Actually, that's not really true. That's kind of a close correlation. It would make no sense to go after a YouTuber who has a massive following in comics. And let's say they are, they appeal to a younger demographic, maybe, 12 to 16, or 16 to 20. If you are a specialized automotive company selling a very specific niche part, just because, they have a lot of followers that they might be able to give you a really good deal on, it's not the best fit for your company. You want to make sure that whatever you're selling, the influencer that you have is someone that would, could, or probably is using your product. That's the best fit that you can find when using an influencer. I've also written a massive article on Instagram influencers. Instagram influencing hasn't really changed in 50 some years, ever since the very first ones. And I think I used the Marlboro Man as the kind of very early influencer that was used to market and promote, the manly, rugged look of smoking for Marlboro. The only thing that's changed after 50 years is the medium that's used to market your business. Print is dead. Digital is hot, and Instagram is still fucking king. So make sure you're using Instagram. Make sure you do your research. Another thing that I want to highlight when using Instagram influencers is that focusing solely on Instagram follower growth for your account is the worst metric you could focus on, because 100,000 followers that come to your account, whether they were pushed there through an influencer or a marketing campaign, you could have gotten them there using some slick marketing. But at the end of the day, if it's the wrong target demographic, it's useless to you. 100,000 followers, nobody gives a shit. It might look cool, and you might think that you're getting props in your industry and against your competitors. But at the end of the day, you're not making more money. So you've just wasted a whole bunch of time and money growing your Instagram account to get 100,000 followers. But at the end of the day, it's not having an impact on your bottom line. And that's really why you're here to use Instagram. Yes, we want to connect with our fans. Yes, we want to, show our brand in an authentic manner to connect with our fans, reward them, provide them with more value, which at the end of the day, if you do properly, will affect your bottom line. It will help you grow sales, because your best customers, your followers that you engage with, they become your star pumpers or your star advocates for your for your product, business, or service. And a testimonial from someone who's using or has used your product in a positive light is better than a non-targeted campaign pushing out to some demographic that's cheap, that just isn't relevant to that demographic. Remember, you don't need to get an influencer with 100,000 followers or even 1 million followers and spend an entire amount of money. You can start with smaller influencers that have 5,000 or 10,000 followers if they fit your business. You could go out and enlist 5 to 10 different followers, influencers, and have a different influencer pimping and promoting and marketing your brand every week, which you might find more effective in the long run because you're kind of getting that kind of nice consistent amplification through an influencer that has 5 or 10 or 15 or 20,000 followers. And it would cost you the same amount of money to get 10 of these influencers that have 5 to 10 or 20,000 followers that it would to maybe get someone that has 100,000 followers or 1 million followers. So it's really all about the fit. That's the number one thing. Do your research, put in the legwork, reach out to people. The other thing that's extremely important is the response time. When you reach out to these influencers, if they don't answer back immediately or they answer back, very short or unprofessionally, to me, that's a sign of the quality of an influencer and the work that they're going to deliver for you. Someone who responds accurately, professionally, courteously, who's excited to talk to you and is thankful that you've reached out to them, that's someone you want to work for because that person is hungry, that person knows their value, and they're more apt to actually over-deliver on the details of the contract that you have put in place with an influencer than someone who's just like, I'll do it for this, do it on a handshake, I don't really know the details, but this is my price. Influencers are a dime a dozen today, and you have to really be careful out there of who you get because there's a lot of people that look like they're doing stuff online and covering brands, and they're just showboating and they're full of shit. So do your research. If you have any questions, send me a DM or send support, a quick message through wolfmillionaire.com. And just be patient. There's a chance that I won't be able to get to it for a couple days, sometimes a week if I'm traveling. But I'll do my best if you've done your research and you come to me with a short email that says, this is my business, this is what I'm selling, here's some influencers that I have, identified as potential fits. What do you think? Yeah, it'll take me 5-10 minutes to look into them and give you my opinion. And I might write a case study out of it, or I might just, find some learning to blog about. But, I don't mind doing these little things, but just don't message me or email me saying, hey, how do I find an influencer for this? Because you haven't done your homework. If you really want to understand everything on Instagram, then sign up for my course. I'll teach you everything step by step. I'll teach you how to think. I'll teach you how Instagram thinks. And that will help you create a sharper Instagram account that will provide more value and provide your company with more success to the bottom line than just creating an account and posting some cool photos that you think your followers will interact with. Up next, engaging with followers. And in brackets, I put potential customers because every follower that you get for your account, and again, this is could be your personal account, could be your fan page, could be a company that you're managing or your own company, could be a business, could be a product page, could be an affiliate landing page. Anyone who comes to follow that page is a potential customer. So we need to treat every single one of these followers that you have with respect. And ideally, you want to respond to them promptly. I see so many accounts from the big Fortune 500 companies to the mid-size to the small companies. And like I said, I spend 12 some hours a day on Instagram, and sometimes I go off on tangents and I do my own little exploring. And it always blows me away to see, posts that were, a week old, 2 weeks old, even a couple days old, sometimes a couple hours old, where there's been a question or two asked and nobody's answered. And then you look through, all the other posts and there's questions answered and nobody answers. That's the number one mistake that you can make as a brand, as a company. If you're selling anyone, if you're selling anything, even if you're not selling anything, that's the worst thing that you could do to not engage with your followers. They're giving you free ways to engage with people and show that you're attentive as a brand, as a company. So if someone asks you a question, you damn well better reply. Because if you don't, well, that sends a message that you really don't care about people who ask questions to your company. And there's nothing worse than that. If I wanted to, be neglected I'd walk into a Walmart or a Best Buy and, I would try to ask for someone's help and they would shuffle me to someone else because they're busy or they don't want to deal with you. And that's just bullshit, okay? I don't want to deal with fucking people like that. You want to sell stuff, you want to be successful on Instagram in the real world, you need to respond to every single one of your customers' questions thoroughly. And because they're doing it in the comment space, just think about how many other people are watching and just observing you reply. That right there could lead to sales. It usually does because it shows that you're attentive and that you're legit and you're authentic and that, you are there. People have a question, I'm going to answer it. Isn't that why you're on Instagram? Not just to show off and make it a one-way street. Instagram and every other social channel that you should be diving into with your company's products or services, specifically Instagram, you need to respond. You need to engage. Ask your followers questions. Get feedback from them. It's free. How much more targeted do you want to get where you don't have to pay? All you have to do is post a video or a photo and ask your followers some questions to get some marketing insights about what they find valuable about your product or what they like or what they don't like. You never know. You might find a reoccurring theme that might lead you to make a business decision to either cut the fat, reduce expenses, or focus your attention and your business on some other product that you might be missing out on that there might be a huge opportunity on. Remember, the bottom line here is to be engaging with your customers, not just through the captions in your posts, but in ways that speak to your customers directly. Bring out their passions for your product or your service, and then reward them for being, your follower and loyal to your business. That's one way of really highlighting that you care about your customers, and other people will see that, and that will lead to more sales. Last up, we have be creative and authentic while keeping it simple. Did I skip something here? Nope. Just want to make sure. Be creative and authentic while keeping it simple. Well, this tip should go without saying, okay? But it's surprisingly easy for people to lose sight of what led them to market their business on Instagram in the first place. It's an innovative and creatively engaging medium, so make your content creative. Don't just create content because I need to have an Instagram account. Put some thought into it. And if you don't have the means to do it, hire someone like me that will look into your brand, look into your product, look into your services, and then tell you, okay, well, this is what someone else is doing and they're having success. This is what someone else is doing and they're not having success. What can we do that doesn't break your budget to create some unique content that provides value to your customers, whether they're new, old, or potential, on your Instagram account? Creativity is the lifeblood of all Instagram posts. That's why it's so powerful. It's so easy to consume. People just want a quick fix. That's why it's so popular. Images are intensive. Images are engaging. Videos are even better. So ask yourself, what can you do that the other person or your competition isn't doing and that your customers will love? And I'll give you a quick hint. The answer is creating cool videos. And they don't have to be like really crazy viral videos that are like, take a whole crew of production and videographers to make. They can be done on your iPhone. You have a company that produces something, there's stuff you can show your customers that they probably love, whether it's behind the scenes, whether it's operations, whether it's people using your products. Highlight, amplify your testimonials, and show others, how other people are using your products or finding success with it. That's how you connect and get creative while ensuring your authenticity on digital marketing, specifically in Instagram. Hopefully you guys have taken away some key learnings. If you haven't yet, remember, sign up for my free webinar. Go to wolfmillionaire.com. At the end of my webinar, if you've watched the entire thing, as a thank you, I will send you my free, updated 35-page Instagram guide. It is filled with tips and tricks that you can literally start using today to get more likes, drive better growth, better engagement, lock down your account. It's literally filled with everything that you could know. If you want to learn everything step by step, then sign up for my Instagram video guides. And I will teach you everything. It's a one-time fee, and I update it regularly. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a great day.